Alright, welcome back to the first video in America on our way to Unbound 2024. Going to do a bit of a bike check. We got off the plane yesterday at midday and we've been hanging out with Scott Little and his family. So I rode up Flagstaff up here yesterday, which is pretty cool, and we also went out for a ride this morning. But yeah, we're lucky enough to be in Boulder at the moment. We head off to our RV in the morning tomorrow, and then we've got all 4 days in Kansas, Emporia, and then a couple days either side. But what we're doing is I finally got all my bike ready. This is obviously the bike I'm going to be racing for Unbound, so I'm going to give you guys a good look at it and everything that I've got on it, because I can't really change anything now. Right, so this is the bike that I bought probably 6 months ago, specifically to do Unbound 2024 on. So this is the 2023 Cannondale Topstone RLE. This comes with all the lights and everything on it. I've ripped all of the stuff that it came off from stock, and I have 36 centimeter zip bars on here. They're just the normal round ones, and then I also have a 110 mil pro stem. That's more to do with my position. I quite like being quite long, especially for the descents, but for such a long event I've gone back on the stem a little bit, so that's kind of what we've got going on there. And then wheels, we have Loon, the Windspace specific gravel wheels, the Grapeed, so they're a 45 millimeter, they're super wide. And these are tyres that I haven't used before. These are the Continental Terra Speeds. I'm running the 45 mil ones because it's meant to be super chunky gravel on Saturday, so I've got the 45s. And they've also got the Vittoria rim liners in them as well, and obviously sealant, so no tubes. On these Windspace rims, on the Loon rims, this 45 blows out to probably almost like a 46, so super wide, but still plenty of clearance, so hopefully there's not any mud. But at the moment it is saying thunderstorms for the morning on Saturday, which is a little bit concerning. And then coming up the top we have my Physique and Tario saddle. That's been real good for me. So yeah, we have the 12-speed SRAM Force, and I'm running the 2x setup, definitely on the Unbound course because it's so long and fairly flat, 3,500 meters of climbing still, but fairly flat the long way. I think the 2x is definitely a better option. Slightly bigger gear as well, so on the descents and the long down straights as well, I should be able to go a little bit faster and I have to spin my legs out too much. Obviously ETAT with that, so I've got battery there, and I will be taking a spare battery with me as well. Since the last time I did a video on this, I've also got the clock power meter, the dub wide. It was real hard to find the dub wide specific power meter for this, but I have got that on. And then getting into like the nitty gritty and the specifics, obviously I've got 2 bottle cages here, and I'm also planning to use my Evoc hydration pack. This is Shimano's like gravel specific pro cage, so it's got some tire levers, and inside it, but behind where the bottle sits, it has a full multi-tool, which also has a chain breaker on it as well. And then on this side it has a CO2 canister, so it's just a little bit of stuff that I can take out of my pockets and out of my pack and actually have it on the bike rather than on my body. And on the back here I obviously have my bacon strips, so I've got my little thing to poke into the tyre there, and so I've got all my bacon strips in there, which I have 10 of, and hopefully I won't have to use any of them, fingers crossed. And then yeah, just my normal bottle cages. So on the wheels, put on some valve caps as well to try and avoid the problem we had at the Graveler at the start of the year. Just try and keep as much gunk out of the valves in case I do have to put a tube in, so I've got that on there as well. Fresh sealant. I have a spare tube in the back of this as well, and I also have another spare tube in my back pocket. And yeah, other than that, the last thing to kind of mention is that yes, after all of the hate comments I got on the last few videos about saying I was going to run road pedals and road cleats, I think they've posted a few videos and there was a bit of mud, so we have the mountain bike pedals on here. I'm not going to take too much of a risk, but with my foot injury at the moment, I've got my road shoes, and I found like a Shimano cleat adapter, which means you can put a mountain bike cleat on a road shoe, so that's going to be my setup. Still obviously not as good for walking as a mountain bike shoe, but they're just so much more comfortable. Like if you look at Keegan Swenson, he's using a lace up aero road shoe with this exact same setup, so hopefully I won't have to do too much walking, and we'll pray to the rain gods that it doesn't rain. And then up front on the cockpit I have all of my data on the Wahoo Element Roam, and I'm going to put the map on that as well so I can kind of follow that along. GoPro mount there as well. And then the last bit is that we double wrapped the front of my bar tape. So this is the Condescend Special. So we've got a thick bit here and it goes a little bit in, and then a thick bit there. And basically it's so that you can kind of get aero, or even just give yourself a little bit of your back a little bit of a break on the road sections or the flat sections. So that's pretty good. And you can also hold it here and it just kind of takes out a few of the vibrations. So yeah, that's kind of my plan. The rest of it's kind of just nutrition and best of luck, really. Obviously this has a bit of rear suspension in here with the Kingpin system, and I'm probably going to run the tyres around 35 to 40 psi depending. Obviously we head off tomorrow and I'll check the gravel out and stuff and see how chunky it actually is, but yeah, that's kind of my plan for this stage anyway. So that is the bike for 2024 Unbound.